every year, all of my models go to do the trade show. What's your experience been like with that, and would you recommend it to young models that are getting started?
I don't know if I'd recommend it to models who are necessarily, that's what they're trying to make their main focus, like making money modeling, because what I didn't know going in was how little of actual modeling you were doing. It was kind of advertised to me as, oh, hey, you're going to be modeling these clothes and people are going to be selling them. And I was like, cool, sign me up. I get to wear cool clothes all day. But it's really much more retail. And if you've had any experience in retail, I really recommend it because like it's just what you're used to. But you meet a lot of people. It's a lot of hard work. It's a long week. You're on your feet all week. And but in my opinion, the pay is worth it. The more you do it, the more you get paid. And it's a really good way to get kind of a foot in the door with some companies if you're interested in that. Like, and to travel, because like I've traveled to Vegas to do the Vegas market, and that was a fun opportunity as well. Getting paid to travel is never something to complain about. But I would recommend it if you're just trying to make an income in a way that's not necessarily a 9-to-5, like, I don't know, service industry job.
Did it teach you anything about the fashion business, like seeing that side of it?
Yeah, because it's a wholesale market. It kind of introduced me to companies I never heard about and the way that they operate kind of behind the scenes, since I was behind the scenes for once. Seeing how they sell stuff, how they advertise stuff, how the sizing works in their company, like all that stuff I found really useful. And also, like, at least in the company that I worked with, we were able to, like, people would ask us to try on stuff and we could try it on and they would decide whether they want to buy it for their boutique or not. And that was really a lot of fun because you got to help them make their decision in what they sell. And they would ask us, because a lot of times they're older. They're like, hey, my crowd, like my crowd of girls is like from 14 to 19. Like, what are they wearing nowadays? Because they're not up to it. And it's nice to get that feedback to help them guide them in the direction of, oh, ripped jeans are really in. I know it might not be what you're used to, but nowadays people are wearing this. So keeping up with the trends and that stuff was also really important.
How do you think starting off in Dallas has shaped your modeling career?
Definitely, and I think that this is anywhere you go, but especially in Dallas, it's like a community, like it always is everywhere. A lot of who you know, but it's also can be toxic. Because once you get into that tight circle, and once you get into that photographer's canceled, and this model never work with her, and that kind of situation, it always gets a little testy with who's really here for the art and who's here for doing whatever else they want to do, you know. But like I said, that can be found anywhere, whether you're in New York or you're in Dallas or you're in Chicago. But I love modeling in Dallas because, one, the different scenery that we get, because we're a big city as well, but we're also Yeehaw, Texas, and so you can get the country feels and you can get all that stuff. And I love the Dallas community because like you said, I started modeling here, and so I feel like my roots have grown here, and so I feel comfortable.
Have you thought about traveling to try modeling in a different place, like going to New York or LA?
Yeah, I mean, I've never had the strong desire to like relocate myself and like pursue modeling somewhere else.
Do you think there would be more opportunities if you moved? Whether moving being like actually moving and living somewhere else or going somewhere for a couple weeks.
Oh, I think there's always opportunities in new locations, especially if you're like fresh meat, you know, like no one's worked with you and you have that look that no one has had yet, and that kind of situation. But I also feel like I said, you get tagged in a post someone else sees in this area, oh, hashtag Dallas models, let me hit her up. You know, like that sense of community and like the amount of work that I get in Dallas because I've built my portfolio in Dallas is like, I feel like starting from the ground up in another location, it would take patience and work, you know.
I guess if you're going to do that, you'd almost have to get in with an agency.
That's what I'm saying. Like, unless I was with an agency, it probably wouldn't be something that I do because having the agency, that already kind of gives you a route and a base to go off of. Like, let us put you out there, you know what I mean? But since I'm freelance and I would have to manage all that on my own, and it would just take a lot of active, like, reaching out from me and to get my name out there in the new location.
These days, you can be anything and be a model.
Yeah, really. People argue it's like, also those clips, like those reposts you can do on Instagram, and they're like, all Instagram, all models tap in, no IG models. Because like considering like the shame around being just an Instagram model and not a real model and stuff. And I definitely think there's a difference between being like a signed agency model compared to just like doing your work. Like I kind of do my work.
Maybe we should get this on camera.
You're like, wait.
Let me listen to this for a second.
Okay, you're good. Go ahead.
Well, I think along that same line, there's the pictures that you have in your profile, but then there's the other category of you being tagged in other photographers' work.
Mm-hmm.
And when I'm looking at a model to see whether or not I'm going to book her, looking at what other photographers have done of her and tagged, there's usually far more pictures and far more depth to that than the 2 or 3 good pictures that she has of herself
posted, yeah.
on there. But then I also understand if it's a really green model, what we're doing for her is giving her a ton of pictures.
Yeah.
She gets the pictures and she gets tagged by 7 or 8 photographers.
And the experience
And the
going on a group
experience.
shoot.
And you know, it's just on me to say that it's a, how do I say it? Fresh face is kind of the term of like, she's gonna be green.
Yeah.
You know.
I definitely think it's you have to decide how much you're doing this to help the community grow versus to help yourself grow. Because if you can easily be like, hey, I only work with models with three or more years of experience.
Right.
Will your quality of your photos for your workshop's sake be better? Yes, but are you getting new people in the business and promoting people and doing that stuff? No. Which is why I'll work with not photographers that are below my work, but photographers that
Sure.
I wouldn't necessarily look at their page, but like I see 2 or 3 photos, I see their editing style in it, and then part of it catches my eye, whether it's the model they used or how they edited or the concepts. But I always think it's important to give that thought and to give that a try, and that's something I like about Chief Photography University too, is that putting people in the business is like you're doing the dirty work that a lot of people don't want to do, and so it's worth it, I think.